And welcome back, everybody, to Empyrion Galactic Survival Alpha 9.5.0, build 2294. I'm an old guy gaming, and I'm going to kind of give you guys an update on what's going on here on the server. So we did a stream on Wednesday night, and we spent that time during that stream doing several things, all geared towards preparation for going on our 5-year mission where no man has gone before to just seek out new life and new civilizations, blah, 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 that kind of thing. And so basically what we did was we built a little water processing plant down on Cauldron, and maybe we'll go down and take a look at that. In fact, we will, because I need to go get some water out of it. We did that. We went to the moon and mined some promethium, some other stuff, and I'm still after promethium. And we got the garden planted. So let's take a look at the garden first. Now, one of the things that I realized too when I logged off, see, now I don't play Empyrion every day. Okay, I only play it a couple times a week, as a matter of fact, on Wednesday nights, and then usually a little bit on the weekend, to record YouTube videos. And once we started the ship up and got it going, I realized that this sucker, really drains the power. And not that that was a surprise to me, but what hadn't occurred to me was that I've got to keep this thing on all the time now, even when I'm not in the game, because this is on a server. It's not a single-player game. And, to keep my crops alive and that sort of thing. And so I got to thinking, my goodness, I'm going to have to get on like every single day and refuel this. And so what I ended up doing is I went through and I shut down all non-essential systems, so that I could get several days out of out of a full tank rather than like less than one day. I think I had something with the number of fuel tanks that I currently have on the ship. I had something like 20 hours, and that's just with the ship not doing anything, just sitting here. And so I got to thinking, oh my goodness, we're gonna have to do something different about that. So what I have in mind, and this is probably something I'm going to mostly do off camera because it's going to probably take a while. But what I have in mind is to set up a switch that will automatically, well, not automatically, but when I throw the switch, it'll turn off all non-essential systems and just leave basically the O2 and the crop lights and the refrigerators on. So I'm going to be working on that. But right now we have about 8,334 minutes of power, which is, gosh, I don't know, that's 5 days, something like that. I'd have to, do the math, which I'm not going to do right now. But so, we're doing pretty good. So that means I don't have to get on every single day with the power it is now. I can get on the weekend and get on Wednesday and be just fine. But I don't want to have to go through every single time and, one by one, shut those things off and then turn them back on later. So I'm going to look into creating some kind of a switch to do that for me. So anyway, that's what that's all about. Let's go take a look and see what we did in the hydroponics on Wednesday. I don't have all the lights on. In fact, here, we can do that right now. Let's just turn the lights on. Okay. So we planted the garden. Now, I still haven't uploaded this to the workshop yet, so what I'm going to end up doing is taking all of these plants back down and just saving the seeds when I save it to the workshop, and then I'll replant everything. But basically, I worked with Common Cider, my admin on the server, and we came up with this particular ratios. Now, so basically 2/3 of this garden here is spice and vegetables, and then of those 2/3, 2/3 of that is spice, and then 1/3 of it is veggies. And a lot of people said go with tomatoes or durians as opposed to pumpkins, but they are basing that upon the fact that tomatoes and durians produce, well, I should say peppers now, but they produce faster than pumpkins. That's true, but pumpkins have a higher yield, so even though they take longer to ripen, you get more out of it. And I'm not, and I wanted to go with the pumpkins because I'm not going to be here harvesting the garden every single time it's ready to go. I'm going to just be harvesting it on occasion. And so in that case, I want to, get the highest yield as I can. So that's why I went with the pumpkins, in case anybody's curious. And then back here, we've got a couple of alien honeys. We've got a row of 3 of aloes. We got a row of space oranges, a row of buds, a row of mushrooms, a row of wheat, and a single stimulant space coffee. I can't put anything in these 2 slots here because these are inward facing glass, and the glass on the other side is also facing this way, so we basically had to sacrifice those 2 crop plots. And so anyway, and then, you know, I got several harvests out of this garden, and we also went down to Stock Gaming's base, and he let us basically take all of his crops, pick all of his crops, you know, to give us a little bit of bump. And so what I've been doing is mostly making emergency rations. The blue refrigerator here is my output, and so I've got 20 rations in my inventory and 11 more in here. Plus I made a little bit of fruit juice, and I can't remember where the beer came from. So we're doing really well as far as making rations, because the main purpose of this garden is just to make rations. I'm not really too worried about making a bunch of the other types of food. I just want rations, and I want medical supplies, because of course, as we all know, rations is the best food in the game. It doesn't spoil, it gives you the most food when you eat it, and so that was, you know, the goal here. And then this little red refrigerator here is our medical, and so I'm putting medical types of components in there, you know, so we can make medical items. So I'm already can start making pills if I want to, and even the decontamination kit. However, I'm not planning on making a huge supply of these things, at least not at this point. I might a little bit later on, because, you know, we do have the medical bay on the ship that cures all that stuff as well. But, you know, once we go out and start doing expeditions and, you know, going on long raids, that sort of thing, we are going to want some medical supplies too. Okay, so that kind of goes over hydroponics. Now, what I want to do is I want to go to the hover bay, aka crafting bay, and I'm going to make a couple of changes there as well. So let's go down here. Okay, so my original plan was for this constructor and its accompanying container or controller to make ammo and everything else. And I got to thinking, well, I don't really like that idea. I would rather have a dedicated ammo constructor and this is a dedicated fuel and O2 constructor. And I actually came back in here and turned it on a couple of days ago so that I can have it continue to produce fuel. So we've got, well, I guess we only made 94 more fusion cells, but I've got a full stack and then some in my inventory. And that's because I've got to go get more water, I got to go get more promethium, and so on and so forth. But what I want to do is I want to make a dedicated ammo constructor, and, you know, a dedicated fuel O2, a dedicated ore processing, and then I think I'm going to change this constructor here to be our general purpose or all-purpose constructor. The other thing that I did that I don't think I need to do is I don't think I need these extra container extensions. I'm not positive, but we don't have weights and volumes turned on the server, and you know, so we're already way past the volume here, the volume limitation here. So I don't know that why is that that tooltip is blocking the thingy. There we go. So we are, you know, this has a total volume of 32,000. I guess we're not quite over the volume limit yet, but I think my point is that, you know, if they don't have that turned on, I may not need all these cargo extensions. On the other hand, it might not be a bad idea to leave them in place just for anybody else that might use this ship in the future with those settings. Not really sure about that, but what I do want to do though is I want to change this constructor here to be the general purpose constructor for anything that we just need to make, you know, in general, and as opposed to something specific. So this will remain ammo, this will be fuel, NO2, this will be ore. I think, what happens if I try and remove these here? And if you're wondering, the reason why I haven't, okay, The reason why I haven't put this on the workshop yet is I'm still making changes. You know, as you can see, I'm still doing tweaks here and there. It almost looks like that just kind of evenly distributed the ore amongst all of them. Whoops. Okay, so you can see here that we are almost double the volume that this otherwise could hold, but the game doesn't care because we don't have weights and volumes turned on the server. So I think for now I'm going to leave it that way. And you know, if somebody does want to use this, you know, use the weight and volume system with this ship, you know, there's plenty of room in this bay. I mean, you can go all the way back here if you needed to extend this out. Okay, so what I want to do now is we're going to reposition this setup here. So let's grab all of these. Oh, you know, we can put another one back here. I was thinking about putting more fuel tanks in though too, just to give us even more fuel capacity. Like we could do another row all the way down that way, and we could put these and then even do a row here. It won't really affect the vessels that we're parking here because, you know, we don't really want them to go past this line anyway. So I think I might do that. We'll get some more fuel tanks going, and then we could theoretically do the same thing over here if here again we wanted to reduce the number of extensions that we're using, but I don't know if I want to do that. Here again, just because I want the ship to be usable with weights and volumes in the future. You know, whether it's me that decides to play with it at some point or somebody else, you know, getting the ship. The other option is, you know, utilizing some of this space because we have so much room in here. We do, but we don't. I mean, when you're parking the Raider in here, there really isn't a whole lot of room, you know, to squeeze it in. Yeah, I don't know. Let's take a look at the engine compartments. I mean, we do have room in here that we could put some fuel tanks as well. We could maybe, you know, try and fill up some of this space with some tanks. I don't really want to put anything in here because this is designed to be, you know, an area that the engineers can walk in and, you know, do maintenance on the engines or whatever. But it might work okay to put some more tanks in through here though. I'm thinking. Not really any room to put any in here either, so okay. And you know, I could put some along the walls, I guess, in here, but I don't know. I've kind of, my gut feeling's telling me that I really just need to leave this space as it is because it's already hard enough to park the ship in here as it is. So let's not do anything in this bay for now. You know, if it turns out that at some point I'm just going to have to use some of that space, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Kind of really the same situation here. I really need almost all this space to get the J-Jet in here comfortably. So I think we're going to leave this the way it is as well. Take a hit of O2 while we're up here. Okay, so let's see. We got to take care of that stuff. So we're going to add more fuel tanks. We're going to rearrange. Yeah, let's keep working on that. Let's rearrange the constructors down here. So now here's another thing that we could do. Well, I was going to say we could maybe stagger the constructors, you know, put more space between them so we could put more extensions above them. But then, you know, we run out of space with these two little small vessels that are parked here. So I think for my configuration, particularly because I'm not using weights and volumes, I'm going to leave it the way it is. But, you know, if you guys at some point in the future, you know, download the ship off the workshop and you are using weights and volumes, one thing you could do is eliminate these two parking spots, or even just this one, and then take the constructors and put a space in between them, so that then you have more room to put more extenders. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. All right, so this is going to be our main constructor. So let's change it to let's give it this yellow color. So green for ammo, blue for fuel and oxy, brown for ore, and yellow for all-purpose. And then what we'll do here is we'll put this controller up here, and let's flip it around so it's the right direction. All right, and we will put I'm just trying to decide, do I want to add more fuel on this side or not? I'd kind of like, both sides of the ship to be symmetrical with each other. But to do that, we're going to have to remove these two extenders, which here again is not a problem for me, but might be a problem down the road. Just trying to think about this, guys. Just trying to think about this. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to keep more extenders in here, just to future-proof it. So that'll be brown. It's not really going to be that noticeable anyway, because everything's going to be kind of hidden behind here. Okay. And then this controller, what I think we're going to do is let's grab all the stuff out of here. Here we go. This is going to be an input and this is going to be an output. But I do want to move it over. Oops. Get the right one there, old guy. Well, let me put an extension down by itself. Oh, it does. Okay. I was thinking I had to have the controller down first, but maybe not. Okay, so that'll be an output, and let's make it and because this is an output, we have more room to expand more extenders if we needed to. So our output color, we're not really using red for anything, so yeah, let's make it red. So output is red. There we go. And maybe what I'll do is I'll make a couple more extenders for that too. There we go. Okay, so let's check our assignments once again. So this guy here is the okay. So this is the controller ammo, like it's supposed to be, and this should be assigned to the ammo controller. And I'm using this as an input and an output. And then all of our guns are also connected to this. And that's kind of why I wanted to change things up, because I really just want to use this for ammo and nothing else. We've got tons of nitrocellulose in there, don't we? Okay, this is the... Isn't this not named? Yeah, it's the fuel... yeah, it's the fuel O2 controller, right? I wonder why it doesn't show up in my little tooltip when I look at it. And maybe the name's too long or something. Okay, and this constructor should be assigned to the fuel O2 controller. Once again, I'm using it both as the input and the output. Its only job is to make oxygen and fuel. This should be the ore and wood controller, which it is. And this should be assigned to the... How come that only says ore controller? Ore controller. Oh, that's the games tooltip, not the name. Okay, never mind. I got a little confused there for a second. Okay. And then this is assigned to the ore controller. Input and output, same deal. Cool. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to get those guys colored. Oh, I don't have whole block on. I was going to say, I thought I already painted those. Okay. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to make this the general input, let's call it. We need to redo all this too. Okay, let's see. So I named this ore controller. This is going to be the general controller. We'll call it general items controller. And then this is going to be the general output controller. There we go. Okay. Now we go into here and we assign this constructor needs to be, oh, it's already named yellow constructor. So yeah, that's good. So we come in here and we want to change this to the general items controller, and we want to change the output to the general output controller. There we go. Okay, I guess the A that comes in front of the name there, it means that it's assigned to something. Okay. So I think that sets that up pretty good. Now, let's put component types of stuff in here. Okay, so those are all components. We'll put a little promethium there because we're going to need it for some things, I think. That is all just ore. Everything in here should be for fuel making. Everything in here should be for ammo making. I am going to take some of the wood out of here, though. And maybe these plant fibers. And put those over here. No, not there, here. Okay. So as we, loot more components, come up with components, that sort of thing, we'll put them in there. Now, let's also make sure we have at least one stack of each type of ore. We are going to need to go get some more high-level ores, too, in here, too, so that way, we can make stuff as needed. So I think that's everything, right? Copper. We don't have any copper in there. Okay, so iron, check. Copper, check. Silicon, check. Cobalt, check. Sathium, check. Neo, check. Zask, and Erestrium, check. Beautiful. So that should give us all the ores for constructing whatever it is we feel like we want to construct. Which, by the way, happens to be, at this moment in time, fuel tanks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these fuel tanks here, and I'm going to move them down to this space all the way across, and then I'm going to put doubles. I'm going to put doubles above them. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 double fuel tanks. Before we do that, though, let's go see if I maybe already have some double fuel tanks still made up or left over from before. If we do, then those will be in here. We've got some more of the T2s. Let's just grab those, and we'll grab a couple of those as well. Okay, here's one double. We'll grab some individuals, I guess, for tucking into spaces. Just taking a quick peek to see what I have in here. Let's grab another couple stacks of Sathium out of here. And let's grab some more iron and silicon too for the ship. Whoa. Alright. And we'll scooch back in here and we'll put all this stuff in the input. Alright, how many of those again did I say I needed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But we have one in our inventory, so we need to make 8 more. Alright, so there's 6, 7, 8. Okay, so while those are cooking up, I guess we need to pull the fuel for a minute. Well, if we're going to do that, though, what happens if I just take these down? Am I going to leak some fuel out, so to speak, or not? Am I losing fuel by doing that? So we have 125,380-ish. Yes, shit, we are losing fuel. Damn it. Okay, well, let's just wait, I guess, for these to finish cooking up then. And let's see, while we're doing that, I want to see something here. So, because as it is right now, in order for me to turn stuff on, I've got to go through and at the very least turn them on by groups. But equipment in particular, you know, there's the wireless connector's off, the repair bay's off. So yeah, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go through here and I'm gonna set up some kind of a switch that's gonna turn off all the non-essential components. I will do that off camera, but then I will show you guys the end result and how I did that in another video. So, okay, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna leave this alone and let it finish those fuel tanks. We're gonna run down to the planet really quick, and I just want to show you the water plant that we built, and then we'll wrap this episode up. Okay. The plan, though, as soon as possible, as soon as we're ready, is for us to embark on a discovery journey. We have on this server, we have over 50 planets in over 100 actual play fields, and I've only been to maybe 10% of even that of those areas. So I want to get going, preferably before Alpha 10 comes out, and just have some fun and doing some exploration. Not necessarily, going to one place and staying there, but just kind of checking things out and seeing what there is to see. So we're going to be doing that as soon as possible. I'll probably do some of that on YouTube, and I'll probably do some of it on stream. And you guys can always watch the streams, the VODs. I keep them up for 60 days after the stream on Twitch if you want to. Okay, so here is the little water plant that Dialphin actually built, and Mariski, I think, helped her a little bit. Those two, among several other people in my community, are my partners in crime when we play Empyrion on Wednesday nights. And so what we did is we just built this little shed here and put a bunch of water generators inside. And I didn't have enough fuel for everything. So what I'm going to do, though, since I have quite a bit of fusion cells now, I mean, normally I would prefer to put, just regular Promethean packs and not use fusion cells here, but I think I'm going to do that at least this time because I really want to get the fuel production going. But I'm gonna make Promethean packs too, not just fusion cells all the time. A couple of these generators too got messed up because I put them down and then picked them back up and put them back down. But in the process of doing that, yeah, see, this is an example here. This one's not going to work. I broke the water block underneath it. So, making a little plant like this, if you guys ever just, decide to do it in water, just remember, once you set it down, you can't pick it back up, or you break the water block underneath it. What's better is to build these on snow. So go find yourself a snow planet and then build yourself, a little water plant on snow, because then you can pick it back up, put it back down, and not have to worry about that. Did I set that to faction? I didn't. Yeah, that one's broken too. What I might actually do is paint the broken ones a different color, just so next time I'm here I'm not checking all of them. Damn, we broke a shitload of them, didn't we? Is this one gonna work? Nope. Oh yeah, that one works. I guess the other telltale sign is if there's no water in it, then we know it's not working. That one's working because it's got water. It'd be kind of nice if there was a way that you could also connect these to solar power instead of having to manually fuel them. I mean, I know they're designed to be portable, but, or either that or make a version of these that's, that's not portable for big, long-term basis. But anyway, there's room to expand, to add a few more in the future if we decide we need to do that. But anyway, let's get out of here because that rumbling of the generators is driving me nuts there. It does get loud in there. Okay, guys, well, I think that's it for this episode. So, like I said, I will work on getting the switch set up for the ship to turn off all non-essentials when I'm not on the server to save fuel. I'll show that to you when it's all done. And then I'm just going to keep working on, supplying the ship and getting ready to go on our trip. I can't tell you exactly when that's going to happen, but I am wanting it to happen fairly soon here, and hopefully, before Alpha 10 drops and changes everything, and then we have to start all over again with that. But at least the nice thing about Alpha 10 is once we do get going in that, we'll already have the capital ship built and ready to go, and we'll be able to spend a lot more time exploring and riding around the universe and doing fun stuff and not so much building. So that is the plan. But anyway, thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Come and hang out with us on Discord. Come and hang out with me on a live stream. I do live stream several times a week on Twitch, and you can find the links to both of those places in the About section of the YouTube channel. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time. Bye.